That's literally what we have to do to sync it. Okay, so hi, this is Nearly Enough Dice podcast with yet another wonderful interview from Compulsion 2012. We have our wonderful, wonderful friend here, Jared. Um, rather than me explain it all, I'm sure you can explain who you are and what you do so much better and why we're interviewing you, maybe more interesting.
Well, I'm Jared Earle. I work for Nightfall Games, along with Mercy Reed and Dave Allsop. We're up here at the convention selling our role-playing game Slate Industries, which we released in 1993. But the role-playing game, we started it in 91-ish anyway. But it's been going for a while, and we came here to announce that we've actually just signed our movie deal.
A movie deal? Which movie is it?
We're making the Slate Industries movie.
So exciting. Okay. Let's slow this down. Let's take a deep breath. Let's hide our excitement because I've played Slay Industries before, loved it. I'll be honest. I'm not trying to stroke your ego here. I did love it. I'm sorry. So for those who don't know what Slay Industries is about, how about you give them a quick rundown of kind of the theme and the kind of the idea behind it?
Slay Industries is a science fiction role-playing game set in a dystopian, dark, pseudo-future, where the great corporation that everyone works for, Slay Industries, controls everything. It controls the planet that they're on, that the players' characters are set on. It controls most of the planets around it, and it's trying to dominate pretty much everything. And the players take on the role of operatives working for, say, industries, and they act as troubleshooters or policemen or soldiers sometimes for the company and investigators into murders. Obviously, there's a layer of general civic police duties, but the players take on the role of investigators and interesting characters in the world.
So let's go back to the movie deal. You've just signed a Slay Industries movie deal. Okay, tell us all about it. Who have you signed with for
Well, we
starters?
signed with a company called Romark Entertainment, who we went to see. Dave and I went over to see them last year in Hollywood, which was rather nice. A couple of weeks there, while Mercy held the fort over here. Um, and they're a small production company that's done a few stuff. All the details are on our press release on our site, nightfall.co. Um, but they're essentially they produce movies and TV shows, and also have links into comics and games, console games, iPad games, the usual sort of stuff you'd expect. And we're anticipating doing everything. The comic has been announced as well. We're starting on that. But mostly everyone's going to be, the big ticket item is the movie. People love seeing, oh wow, a movie. Whereas if you say, ooh, potential console game on the Xbox 360, it's not as big a punch, but there's that coming as well. PlayStation, Xbox, everything you'd expect, we're going to be doing. Comic has been announced for 2012 with spin-offs in 2013. We're going to be busy.
So, if I remember correctly, how big are you guys as a company as Nightfall Games? Because this is, yeah, you're huge. You're a huge project you've got kicking off here, and there's what, three of you? That's the main staff. So that's a lot of work to take on. I'm guessing how much involvement will you have in these products, or are you just doing the rights to it, or?
Dave and I will be going to Hollywood shortly. Mercy will be staying here, carrying on the stuff that we do in the UK, but we'll be we'll be involved heavily. We wouldn't have it any other way. That's why we signed with we signed with a company that we knew would care about the actual product more than the bottom line. And obviously, they're interested in bottom line. We all are. This is why you don't go to work for nothing unless you're already established and wealthy enough to be able to do so. We're not. So we're going to be going over working on the role-playing game, of course. That's not going anywhere. By which I mean it's not going away, not as in it's going nowhere. Um, but we're going to be working on the role-playing game. We've got the second edition that we've announced a while ago that we need to get a couple of books out before we can go into that one, but we are going to be doing that at some point as well. But yeah, we're involved.
Okay, so maybe as a slight exclusive for Nearly Enough Dice, could you give us a kind of rough idea of what the movie's going to be about? I mean, obviously it's about Slay Industries, but do you have a rough idea of what the story is? What's it going to focus on?
It's going to be about 120 minutes long.
Okay. Does that mean that you haven't started writing it yet, or is it written, or?
We're nowhere near that stage yet.
Okay, so it's announced. We've got it, and now here comes the real big chunk of getting it ready and getting it ready. Okay.
We have over 20 years of material to draw on, which means that we have got a rich, vibrant background that will transfer into a movie. But it's not going to be a low budget indie movie with guys in dirt bike armor pretending to be,
It's gonna be a proper movie.
yes, it is.
Okay, so obviously we're not gonna have any release dates beyond the comic book at the moment, but let's say for a moment that this is the first time I've heard the Slay Industries. It sounds great. I want to buy it right now. Where would you recommend picking it up?
Store.nightfall.co. We just released our own e-commerce store this morning. It'll be going properly live on Monday. We'll be announcing it to everyone. So there's your little exclusive. Um, but what that means is that people will be able to go there and get all the PDFs. Anything we've still got in print, we will also be able to sell to people. We're still sorting out shipping. We'll have that sorted by Monday. But all the PDFs will be online, available to buy. We're reprinting the Slay main rulebook, but that's going to be in a slightly different format in the US. We'll be redoing, I think, Karma at the same sort of time, and we're also going to be printing all the new stuff as well. But we're mainly going to be focusing on getting the main rulebook out, and then getting the new stuff out, and then everything between those will be available on PDF.
So, in case anyone didn't hear us the last two times, if I want to find more out about Slay Industries, the best website to go to is.
Nightfall.co. However, if you want to go to the forum, that's nightfall.me. And if you want to buy stuff, that's store.nightfall.co.
All right. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you.